essence of your soul.
Hello everybody and welcome to my most recent indulgence. I tried to continue playing my N'Zoth Jade Rogue deck into Kobolds and Catacombs, however I just didn't feel it was performing well enough. So I took stock in where I thought it could do better, what else I was seeing, etc. I really like the Rogue style, and I definitely am a big fan of N'Zoth. Anybody who's watched anything I've done related to Hearthstone probably knows this about me already. So I wanted to keep that in mind. And what I've come up with is a deck that I'm very pleased with the way that it performs. You can see by the deck list here that I've named it Tempo. I suppose it would probably be more accurate to call it a mid-range deck. It's just hard between like Cold Blood, Backstab, Eviscerate, Vilespine Slayer. It's hard with those kinds of cards to consider it not a tempo deck. But anyways, we start off with the Pirates package, not just the Swashburglars and patches, but also Southsea Deckhand and the Southsea Captains. This is partially because we kind of need some 3-drops, and the Cold Bloods along with Southsea Deckhand can make for some nice burst when necessary, or it can be used for removal. You need to have cheap spells for combo starters, etc., etc. We do have what I kind of already alluded to, the destruction package of Backstabs, Eviscerates, and Vilespine Slayers. Early on, we have Loot Hoarders and Undercity Hucksters. Probably a little redundant. If I was to change anything, I would probably take one Loot Hoarder out in favor of maybe an Azure Drake. We do have Shaku the Collector, as well as Sonya Shadowdancer in the 3-slot. Shaku, along with the Swashburglars, and what's the other card? Oh yeah, the Hucksters. Kind of like the Thief package. It doesn't include Burgle because, unlike Burgle, these other cards serve other purposes as well. And that actually works out pretty well, because you can see that without the with the exception of the Loot Hoarders, this deck just doesn't have any draw. So these Thief mechanics help give us stuff to do, you know, as our own deck starts to like run out. From there, we have in the 4-slot Piloted Shredders, Tomb Pillagers, and Xaril the Poisoned Mind. All of these are great cards, and since we have N'Zoth in the deck, the Piloted Shredders and Tomb Pillagers are great things to pull back. Meanwhile, Xaril the Poisoned Mind, he can help you to draw a card, help you do some damage, buff your minions. He's just a very good combat aid. I wouldn't rely on him as your primary fighter, but he provides some good aid. And let it be pointed out too that one of his poisons is basically a 1-mana Shadow Step. So in theory, you can N'Zoth and then use a coin from the Tomb Pillager to bounce N'Zoth back to your hand. N'Zoth will bring back Tomb Pillagers and Xaril the Poisoned Mind. So the deck does have the potential of an infinite N'Zoth. Then to round out the curve, we have Sylvanas Windrunner, Dr. Boom, and Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Once you get to that point in the game, all of these cards put enormous pressure on the opponent. It's already got a pretty pronounced early and mid game, so these often can close it out, if not just continue to put the pressure up. Yes, the boom bots can come back with N'Zoth, but usually in a deck like this, N'Zoth's not going to get drawn every single game because there's just not much card draw. You're kind of relying on its own curve as well as the thief aspect of it. But yeah, so those, and of course Sylvanas and Ragnaros are the 2 cards that I've always said can win you lost games. So, and I like to have fun when I play. So these, and Dr. Boom's just a really strong card. So these are just all cards I've thrown together because it's a fun deck and happens to be very effective. It puts the opponent under enough pressure that if they're playing a slower or combo-y deck, they just don't have the time to pull it off. So yeah, so I wanted to showcase a few of the more ferocious games I've played. In fact, I think it's the last 3, as well as some highlights from other games I've played. So I hope you enjoyed them, and let me know what you think about this particular deck as opposed to the one I was playing before. I've decided that moving forward I don't want to stick to just one deck style, but as you can see by the fact that it's all gold, I'm really married to the idea of N'Zoth and Death Rattle in the Rogue deck. So hope you enjoy it.
You asked for it. Watch your back. Thank you. I'm in charge now. Aye, your soul shall be mine! Watch your back. I'm in charge now. Truth is found in death. You and I are okay. From the void I come. I am the Lord. I am yours. Grasp the pirate's code. I am in charge. Scurvy dog! Thank you.